Okay, that was really weird. I'm not sure if we got audio on the intro. But hi,
I'm still
everyone.
dancing to it. I ain't stopping.
Welcome to this week's episode. God damn it, everything was perfect too, and now Danny's window's broken. The very first shot of the fucking show. Everything was working out. Goddamn.
Literally haven't touched a goddamn
So,
thing.
hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's
haven't touched a damn
Disaster Live. I'm your host, Pat
He looks so
Navarrete.
good. He's
With me
breaking
as always
cancer.
is my co-host Dan Kilkenny. Who's this? Nick McFly and Mike Burke. All right, give it up for everyone. Yeah. All right, shut up. All right, so this week, let's fix this frame. Hold on. I'm sorry, Danny.
Am I
This
too
week
small?
we're
Am I too-
exploring the technical.
This week we're exploring the
exploration.
technical sides.
We're taking
This
a
is
look
more
behind the scenes of
avant-garde
NSL.
episode.
Yeah, it's more existential. Like it's
Expand
just
the
like
meta.
I don't understand. I don't understand why it doesn't just stay the size it needs to stay, you know?
I literally can't give you an answer. I haven't touched a damn thing since I opened up Skype. I've been the same
do you wanna-
size.
I
And
wanna
you
see your
just went
hands,
back,
Andy.
and you
I wanna
just
see
went
your
back.
hands.
I just fixed you in this
Just leave
fucking.
them up for the next hour.
All right.
Up.
It's like
Now,
Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands.
now, put a finger in your mouth. Just one though.
Which one?
Oh.
All slow
I'm
like,
teasing you. I'm teasing you.
You are
Okay.
cheating.
We're about to get demonetized.
bro.
No, we're about to make more money than we've ever made before.
I was gonna say, it sounds like we got a winner right here.
Remonetized.
That is definitely going up on a highlight. So
It's going to Danny's OnlyFans account.
only Dan's, only Dan.
Dan's. Only Dan's.
All right, we got some fucking news for the week, boys. Are you ready to talk about it?
I guess.
I'm ready.
I want to know about Only Dan's more.
Uh,
But
Only Dan's.
All right, well,
Isn't-
yeah, Danny,
this
you
is
plug
better.
only Dan's. Go ahead.
Only Dan's. Oh, for all you Dan fans out there, you know, when you're thinking, wow, I'm such a fan of Dan and I only want to see Dan, Only Dan's is here for you. Where it's just pictures of me doing what I normally do, except now you got to pay for it. Only Dan's.
I thought you were definitely gonna go the route of like, it's just pictures of me, except naked. Like, I thought,
I mean, you got to pay for those. Those are about 30 a pop. Some
God.
of them will be feet pics. And guess what? I don't always
Ooh.
cut my tonails.
all right.
all right, so I don't
Okay,
wanna
all
know
right.
more
Well, with
about
that
Only
being
Dan's.
with that being said, first up, Elon Musk is making Jurassic Park. Is that what I read? Is that what this
Almost, you
story
almost
is?
had it.
Yeah.
Almost.
I
He-
mean,
he
he-
says he has the capability.
he's
So he's
ha-
threatening the world right now.
He's
Well, it's his co-founder of the Neuralink.
yeah.
But,
That
I mean,
guy
you know his
tweeted.
ass is deep in that too.
Yeah, that guy tweeted that. So like Neuralink's a company that specializes in brain to machine like interfacing. And so the
Doing
co-owner
stuff
of the company
Pigs.
decided to just let the cat out of the bag that they have the capability. It said like with 15 years more research, you know, so there's that to consider. But they basically said with 15 years more research, they can basically create dinosaur whatever.
Yeah.
What was the word
Elon
they
Musk is just
what was the
Elon Musk is
word
just trying to be God.
he used
So,
to
yeah,
describe it
this
though?
This is Max Hodak, who's as we mentioned, the co-founder, but like completely unprompted out of nowhere. You know, this dude is like rips the bong, allegedly, maybe, and it's like
Bro, he works at Elon Musk. He definitely
we
ripped
could,
the bong.
We could build Jurassic Park. Like, I mean, not dinosaurs, but like other cool shit. That's literally what this tweet just said.
It'd be just mean.
Oh
frogs.
my god.
Yeah, he said he's like if we take 15 years, he's like we can work with like breeding engineering and get quote super exotic novel species.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like all that's good, but they're testing all of this like brain interface stuff on monkeys, right? And the person who surveys the actual facility had this to say, and I quote, "Nicest monkey facility I've seen." That was the one thing that stood out to me was that like, holy shit, like there's somebody who's that's their skill set. Like they go and observe and see how I guess up to code that the place where you test the products on the animals is.
He's like the health inspector of monkey facilities.
Well, yeah, like
He's
that.
I'll give them an S for satisfactory.
I give them 5 bananas. And But yeah, like I mean, this brings in the question of like a lot of ethics and what can we test on animals and whatnot. And I believe,
You mean like the entire point of the Jurassic Park movies?
right? Yes, which, but I believe the dude said he's like, I mean, you can't see where the implants are in the monkey, and it's like the monkey's happy anyway. He
That's
gets, like,
right. It's a
banana
very
smoothies.
happy monkey, was what he said. It's just like,
Happy
yeah, but does
Happy
the
he is.
but here's two things I thought of. One, does the monkey know that the monkey's happy? And two, is the monkey trapped in his own mind and he's screaming, "Let me out! Like, get me out of this fucking thing!"
They're gonna be waiting around like one day, and they're just gonna like hear someone else talking, and they're gonna look over at the monkey, and he's like, "I've discovered how to talk telepathic."
There's gonna be
Elon.
shit floating.
do
My
not
name
wish
is
to be
Mojo Jojo.
So we've invented Mojo.
This is the
Jojo.
origin story for Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Which is getting a TV reboot.
Yeah. Well, they're doing
That's
a
true.
movie, right? Live action movie.
No, it's a live action TV reboot.
Oh, I thought
Well,
it was a movie.
It's
That's
not a
cool.
reboot. It's them when they've grown up. It's like all grown up for Rugrats except
Oh,
for
yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, so
Who's
it's not
wait?
Mitch
Who's playing
Bell?
the Professor Utonium?
Oh, I don't know.
The guy from,
It's got to be John
Scrubs.
Hamm. It's got to be John.
Oh
Hamm.
my God, John
No, it
Hamm
was-
as Professor Utonium.
Yeah.
That would be great.
John Hamm actually is great. I'm pretty sure it's Turk from Scrubs.
Ooh.
Oh, Donald
Yeah, I think
Faison.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second Donald
Yeah.
Faison reference this week.
It's also
Put
a
it.
good
That's one on the board. Put it on for Donald Faison. All right. So yeah, wrapping up this story though.
I
Nice
think it would
monkey
be cool-
facilities. We have 5 movies that tell everyone why this is a bad idea. Don't fucking do
I think
this.
they just take prehistoric animals, like animals that are just been around for like an alligator and a shark, and we just blend them together, and then we just make
And we
really
throw it into
cool
the
animals.
ecosystem and we just see what
Yeah.
happens. Yep.
Just
Yeah.
throw it in. Let's see what happens. Or like birds and sharks, and then that way we could have Sharknado, except the sharks are actually able to control like what direction they're able to go in. I think we just do that and just see what happens.
I'd be with it. I would be down. Hey, so
I'm
what's
gonna-
next? I know we moved that first, but what are we doing after that?
What's next is what's now.
Uh,
You're on 92.3.
Mike, we're gonna get sued. The Lenovo gaming phone.
Oh, is that second? Okay.
Yeah, let's
assume
talk
so.
Oh,
about.
this is great. Wait, okay, whatever. I didn't see it change on my copy, but whatever. Okay, so Lenovo gaming phone, gents. Who had any interest in this before it was brought to our attention?
Not
I. Yeah.
Okay, so who knew it existed before it was brought to our attention?
Not I.
Who knew gaming phones existed? Period.
The Engadget was a thing. So.
It's a Pat. Pat knew.
So.
I
The
mean, the
shocking
way
conclusion.
I look at games on your phone. I basically just look at them as like things that you pass the time in, like while you're at the DMV or something like that.
I just don't
I never
understand.
think the game on my phone, let alone have a phone for gaming.
Like, I know PUBG Mobile's huge. I know Fortnite is
Yeah.
huge on mobile. I mean, like, Candy Crush is huge. I don't think you need $1,000 gaming phone to run those games, though. I mean, like, my like shit iPad could run Call of Duty mobile and like actually plays pretty well. You know what I mean? So I don't think you need $1,000 gaming phone. But the interesting part here, though, is the actual mechanics that are built into the phone. First of all, this fan has 2 internal fans. That's
It's
like,
legit.
what is that? You know what I mean? That's why do you need 2 internal fans to cool a phone? You know, like
Also,
because your
because it-
hot, sweaty hands are all over it.
Because Pat, it also has 2 batteries.
I didn't know it. I didn't see that it had 2 batteries.
Yeah,
2 batteries and 2 dual ports, so you could charge both
Right,
batteries at
right.
the same time.
You
Well,
could,
I
you
thought
could
that-
charge them both at the
I
same
thought the
time.
Exactly.
charging, the
You can
charging.
DV your phone
I thought the
charging.
charging for 2 points was because like this phone is really pushing the whole like horizontal or landscape. I'm sorry, landscape like holding whatever. I didn't even know people prefer their phones in landscape, and so you can charge while still playing, which is important because the Switch
And
fucked that up.
You can watch Quibi.
Oh,
You can watch quick bites on your phone.
It comes with a free subscription to Quibi.
So the RGB lighting, awesome. Yet again, I had literally did not know that there was people asking for that on phones. And has 2 USB-C ports. Now that's nice, but what's the functionality? You know what I mean?
It's literally so you can charge 2 batteries at one time.
But
Like,
is that the
I'm
same? So they are charging through USB-C.
yeah.
Okay.
It is
Is there
charged
a
through
headphone
USB-C.
port? Did we talk about that?
I don't know. If
I
there's
didn't
a
see there was
because,
one.
my phone uses USB-C and it charges through the same fucking port that the headphones go into. So I mean that would be an upgrade.
You know, the whole thing about this phone is like, I mean, it's obviously the coolest feature I think of it is when you flip it, you know, horizontally like this. There's a little camera in the center here that
Yeah.
pops up and goes down, and it's like a face camera for streamers.
Oh yeah, for streamers. So they want to
So
they
like
want
the
to get into the
whole thing
streaming
is
market with
like,
it.
you know, this is a phone that you could pretty much like stream, I guess, whatever mobile games you want to stream on it for, but through what
Bubble Witch
platform?
Saga.
Bubble Witch Saga.
But like through which platform? Like, can you stream? I don't think I could stream like through Twitch on my phone, can
Yeah,
I?
you can. As a
I
matter
can
of
right
fact,
now.
Burke, at my graduation party, someone fucking streamed when the food came out onto Twitch. I'll tell you guys who it was later because I'm no longer friends with them, but it happened. It happened. I saw
They
it.
don't get a plug on this
What?
shit.
Yeah, you don't know about that? You can hook your
At the
phone
P-
right up to
at-
Twitch and stream straight from your phone to Twitch.
But
No,
I guess-
that's fine. But who? Well, why did they do it at the pizzeria?
Yeah.
Why did they do it? It was
It's
literally
just-
just cake was being brought.
I don't know. Well, I
Why?
mean, I had like a whole bunch of like I had like the whole like Italian buffet thing going on, and then there was pizza and like then there was cake
check
and
this
shit.
shit out.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. I remember him just
We got the
holding
broccoli
it
rabe.
sideways and being or landscape whatever, and just being like here we fucking go, folks. Like
But
Great.
here's, I guess I'll clarify my question. I know you can, yes, you can stream on Twitch on your phone, but can you screen share stream on Twitch on your phone? Like, can I broadcast what I'm seeing on my phone to Twitch? Like, the whole
yeah,
point of,
that's
you know,
I think that's what they're working on because it said that it had support for like mobile OBS and overlays.
all right. My favorite thing about this is the the dude who snapped it in half.
Okay, see that
Easily.
was on my notes.
Easily.
The specs for this is 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, 144 hertz screen, which is 6.92 inches, 2460 by 1080 OLED, and it breaks easily. So the guy from Verge was reviewing it, right? And he got it in his hand and he was like trying to
it's
test the
the
test of
dude,
durability.
It's the YouTube Jerry Rig Everything,
Yeah.
who, like, part of his YouTube channel is he tests like the strength and resilience of everything, and one of the things he tests with phones is like how much flex it has. Like, what will it take if you're, you know, put this in your back pocket and you accidentally sit on it? And apparently it did not take much to break this $950 phone.
Yeah, I mean, he barely had to put in any effort. Like, it's almost like it looked like a toddler would be able to break it in half.
It's
if they got their
embarrassing.
hands
It's
on
it's
it.
honestly it's embarrassing for a company like Lenovo to put out a phone that's $1,000 and it snaps in the fucking review. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's really fucking sad.
And what was crazy though that I really hated about the video was that, so I guess what he does a lot is he'll take a lighter to a lot of the screens just to show, like, you know, what if your phone's in a fire? I don't really know why
What
he's
if
doing
your
it.
phone-
But
Yeah.
he
in a
just he
fire.
just takes a lighter, and then immediately afterwards he's then trying to input the fingerprint scan. And he's complaining that it's not reading his fingerprint, but it was literally right where he burned it. Like, it was right where he just took a torch to the phone, and now he's complaining that the fingerprint isn't working. It was like, dude, you literally just torched the spot.
All
where
right.
it's
Well, I
reading
don't
your
want to
fingerprint.
trash his review. I'm just saying.
Well,
like,
no. Now I'm heated.
okay.
Much like the phone. Now you're heated.
Yeah. Well,
They
either
were
way though,
so
it's a piece of
preoccupied
shit,
with-
and nobody here is gonna buy it. So you know.
Nope.
So
But
just so you
check-
guys know, Mike, are you in on this right now? Are you on the stream?
Am I on stream?
I'm streaming our podcast live on Twitch right now from my phone.
Oh,
we got one viewer right now.
oh
but
nice.
They're not getting any audio.
Nice.
So.
It's
Like,
possible.
Who these assholes?
It is totally possible.
I love how through recommended on Twitch. He was like, "Oh, what are these guys doing? Check
And
it
you
out."
just see like, it's Nick's like the dad Facebook. Yep.
He's just always writing those awkward messages under his daughter who posts pictures of her in a bikini and her friends. It's like, very beautiful, Rachel. Good to see you.
And then always still manages to write like dash and then
Dash,
his name,
dad,
and then you can't tell it's from
Bill
Dad.
or whatever. Or like, or like it's even worse is that you can tell like they're from a broken home and they're just like, see you at Christmas. You know what I mean? Or something.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, I see it out there. That's all I'm saying. These are just observations I have made, okay?
Love Uncle Richie.
Yeah.
Or if they post like a photo of them with their friends in Santa hats. Merry Christmas, guys. Looking very beautiful.
Wow, so pretty. Can't
So
wait to
pretty,
see.
So grown
Can't
up.
wait to see you for New Year's. Like, all right. So moving on from that topic.
Moving on from
Netflix
Christmas.
and Sony have struck a deal, boys, to stream Sony exclusive films. Hooray.
Of Netflix deals here on this show.
Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
is that mad luxurious?
Is it mad luxurious?
Then that's mad luxurious.
I mean, listen, it is mad luxurious. It's nice to know that like Netflix is gonna have more than like serial killer documentaries and stand-up comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't care. You know what I mean? I'd rather you just put the fucking Spider-Man movies in Disney Plus and that was it. That would have made me
Yeah, I
happy.
mean, this
Well,
I know.
no, dude. See, for me, I'm hoping this snowballs into a trend. Everybody stop making your own streaming services
Oh,
and
yeah.
just jump on board the bandwagon. I don't need a million subscriptions. Just give me
No.
a handful and I'll be happy.
Nick, I literally had the same thought. I was like, this is such a great move for Sony, who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have their own streaming platform, and nor should they have their own streaming platform. They're making a deal for the next 5 years worth $1 billion,
Yeah.
and they still have the right. They're still putting the movies
Well,
in theaters.
actually-
so they're still.
Hold on, let's get that right.
Yeah.
Is it 4 years?
No,
It's
the
not.
deal is-
They're
the
not
deal's
gonna
not-
make billions. Netflix
No,
is
it said-
paying
it said in
hundreds
the
of
article-
millions out the ass to have these titles on
No,
their service
it's-
no,
Pat,
no,
they're
no,
gonna
Netflix-
pay $1 billion
Yeah.
over 4 years.
over
to
4
Sony.
years to Sony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over
That's
4
fucking
years,
crazy.
$1 billion.
That's
And
crazy.
so, I mean, they're still able to put the movies in theaters.
yeah.
And then they're still going to make the $1 billion over the next couple of years from Netflix. And they're still able to make deals with other streamers for whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah, it
This is
feels like
such
Netflix
a
got
great
fucked.
move for Sony. No, I mean, Netflix literally is just proving that they're just throwing their weight around even more. I mean, I feel like no deal Netflix makes is bad for Netflix. It's just good for everybody else.
But the only
Netflix is just a behemoth that is just not gonna go anywhere.
the one thing that stood out to me though was that Netflix decided to deal. They got an exclusive first look at anything that Sony is producing or writing. So like if they're putting something out, like they're putting something together, like say like the Spider-Man movies that are coming out or like that Jared Leto Morbius shit, whatever they
Yeah.
have coming down the superhero canon, one thing's going to happen. Netflix is going to look at that and say like, hey, maybe like, we could help co-produce this and like it'll come out on Netflix instead. You know what I mean? I see that happening where it'll be streamer
I'm all for it.
exclusive movies.
So I mean, I do think Sony got the way better deal in this
Oh, yeah.
of the two, like because it's pretty much for like Spider-Man's like specifically and a couple other movies, but yeah, Sony still holds the rights to the Morbius thing, to Venom, and also it's U.S. only. Is
Yeah.
a really interesting thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but VPNs
So-
can solve that.
yeah. No, I mean, from a
To
legal
them,
perspective,
it's US
But
only.
I mean,
It's
the
all US
average
only.
viewer, I feel like, doesn't use a VPN.
that's true.
Mhm.
I mean,
It's
Yeah.
just
like
people like us.
it's only like us
But
animals.
Nerds.
like you mentioned, it's like it seems like
Hell do you do,
What I'm-
fellow nerds?
Hello, fellow nerd. How is
Just,
it for
I'm sorry to cut you
VPN?
off, Mike, but the way Danny was just like us, nerds.
you know.
you know,
You know?
us.
Nerds.
How do you
That-
do?
I mean, I have to go on a tangent, but I like the best insult I've ever seen. Alex Trebek. There's one guest who goes, like, oh, what do you do? Like, what's your hobby? And she's like, I'm into nerdcore rap. And he's like, what is nerdcore rap? She's like, we're just a bunch of nerdy people who are bad at romantic relationships and we like nerdy things. And he just goes, oh, you mean Losers.
It's just the way Danny
Cold-blooded.
said it made me think of like, you guys ever see the fake like cell phone towers that they dress up like trees for like the
Yeah, yeah,
birds and
yeah.
everything?
Fellow tree.
Yeah, have you guys ever seen like the memes of like those in the middle of the woods and there's quotes, "How do you do, fellow trees?" That's what I don't know, I'm sorry. All right, moving on.
Great podcasting.
Now this is actually our second topic of the night where it seems like
Oh,
corporate
Wait, I'm sorry. Did Burke have a thought that he wanted to complete there? I feel like
Burke, yeah.
Tell us
Yeah,
about
actually-
Steve Buscemi.
Berg, did you
Yeah.
have something you wanted to
What
say?
I was gonna just say it, just like Steve Buscemi. Hello, fellow kids. Or whatever.
What is that meme from, though? I
It's
only
from
know the
a
meme.
third-
I think
Rock.
that's it.
Oh,
Third
okay.
Rock,
30
okay.
Rock. But my ending point, wrapping up anything about Sony and whatnot, is I'm excited for more Spider-Man movies
Oh
specifically.
yeah.
You're getting them as long as they keep making Sony $1 billion.
Toby Maguire.
You know
Oh,
how I feel
yo,
about the Tobey
actually,
Maguire one.
funny we talk about this. There's rumors going around right now that there is a Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire attached to come out at
Yeah.
so, because you know they're
I
doing
love Toby Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
Oh, you did. You didn't just get me all hot and bothered like that.
So-
in the middle of stream.
So
Oh my
apparently, this whole Spider-Verse shit they're doing for Spider-Man 3 is like opening up that realm of possibility. And honestly, I'm like, great, do it, fucking do it. Like, I want to see
Yeah.
another one of those bad. That's really the only sequel. Like, I'll do 3 more. Do it. I don't care. Do an old Spider-Man in his 40s. We got enough old Batman. Like,
That's a
Exactly,
good
yeah.
point. I would
Aging
want to
Spider-Man.
see. I do want to see like suburban Spider-Man.
yeah.
So we're now
Well,
waking
actually,
up 3
Nick,
times to pee in the middle of the night.
I'll just leave it at this. He's got kidney stones and shit. I'll just leave it at this, Nick. J.J. Abrams had their own take. Him and his son wrote a comic book, a recent run of Spider-Man.
Right.
That I think if you read, you'll have the same reaction to that as you do all of J.J. Abrams' properties. And I would really like to listen to that.
What do you think my opinion of J.J. Abrams is?
He wants to be Spielberg.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah. I think he's
Okay,
I think
you got
he's
me.
yeah.
he's got an eye for visual storytelling, but he cannot tell a story with dialogue for his life.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Well, good thing that comic book is mostly visual medium. So
Yeah.
either way,
Stick
though,
with what you're good at.
but it talks. It's about
Listen
that.
to
It's
JJ.
about Spider-Man like having a kid, losing his arm, all types of shit.
Oh God. and
So-
then he
Oh,
gets,
Jesus
Spider-
Christ, that's
Spider-Man's
brutal.
child.
All right.
uses his arm.
To wrap up this news segment,
he's got 8 arms though.
Oh.
Oh,
his pants
geez.
must fit like a glove. To wrap up this segment, we have corporate overlords playing God again, you guys. Like,
And that's on God, baby girl.
dude, these
this
drops
happened now
suck.
twice. 2 news stories of corporate people
50% of
playing
our
God.
stories we're talking.
Yeah,
about.
50% of our stories about
Billionaires having too
so-
much money.
apparently there was a Disney like shareholders call about like the parks specifically, and what they want to do is, you know, they're always trying to they have these guys called Imagineers. Pretty much, they're just engineers that make all the shit that makes Disney billions of
Underpaid.
dollars.
It's just
Yeah.
a PR name for their
Underpaid,
engineers.
Overworked. It's like the sandwich artist at Subway. You know, it's a bunch of
so
bullshit.
It's legally we don't have to pay you an engineer's salary because you're an
You're
Imagineer.
an engineer.
Yeah,
And they gotta
imagine
put on
this,
their
a
resume,
livable
you know,
wage. You know, so either way
An
though.
electrical engineer has to put Imagineer on his resume.
So
you have that like chiseled 30-year-old like industry veteran who's like going to get a job after retirement. He's like, I was an Imagineer for 45 years.
God damn it, I knew Walt Disney
You
himself.
know the type of people who get the Imagineer jobs. It's like their whole life, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I vacation at Disney twice a year with my family."
Yeah.
They love that title. You know they
They
do.
love it. Sure,
Really?
I gotta work while I'm there.
How is it vacationing and living at Disney? Well, those 2 weeks out of the year, they took the manhole covers off for us. Like that's what those people are. So either way, before we start shitting on them, they're having the shareholders meeting. It's over Zoom, you know, so everybody knows what's going on. They're talking about all the stuff they have upcoming. And apparently the guy giving the interview, I didn't look at his name. I just heard the story 3 times at this point. He lifts up a lightsaber hilt and turns it on, and it actually turns on. And all he said was, "This is real," and then just hung up the call. Now, this kind of reminds me of the wands from. This kind of reminds.
This is real.
It's kind of reminds me of the wands from Harry Potter, like the Universal. I've been there, Ollivander's wand shop. Ooh, come get your wand and your robe and your complimentary whatever the fuck. Either way though, those wands you can like point at shit and click and stuff will happen, that stuff. But so I get how it's like trying to simulate like magic, but like this is weapons grade technology we're talking about here. If this is real, that they were able to create a lightsaber, this will literally change the world.
I mean, you're gonna have to be 21 and older to buy this. This is ridiculous. This isn't like getting a wooden sword at medieval times.
Dude, you know what the worst part about this is that not even George Lucas got to do this. Like Disney did it. And every single time you buy a hilt, there's gonna be those little fucking Mickey ears at the bottom.
Oh God.
Oh, there's gonna be a hidden Mickey.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you look into it and then press the button, you die. But there's a little hidden Mickey.
Yeah. The blades are shaped like Mickey heads, just. But yeah, I mean, look, cause I would have been jazzed by this if I was 12. I'd be like, oh shit, we're getting real lightsabers. But now I'm just look, there's too much horrible shit in the world.
Look,
Please, no real fucking lightsabers.
Well,
now that you're a responsible adult, you start realizing, oh, this is really dangerous. It's going to be a bunch of neckbeards just getting together. Like, let's have a lightsaber battle, and one of them's going to lose a hand.
Look, one of them's going to lose a hand.
He's going to lose
hope
that.
to lose it. The scary thing about this is, as much as they're like, oh, this is just oppressive and everything, Disney has filed patents before for lightsaber related technology. Like in the past, they've done this. So,
wait, how far in the past?
I'd have to look it up. I can do that.
But I mean, are you saying like the last 5 years, 10 years?
Like when they bought Lucasfilms?
I think whenever they bought.
So I'm gonna guess it's probably, as much as I would love to see like a bunch of younglings just cut in half and are all around Star Wars land. I'm gonna assume it's just like a hologram.
That was
thing
fucked
that
up.
Dude, I like that. When you guys told me about this story, I just remembered thinking like just kids cut in half all over the ground. Like,
well,
I mean,
yeah,
what's so funny is that
they call it a retractable, like LED illuminated blade. So I think it's some kind of like the old lightsaber.
Do the motion. Do the motion.
Those like old lightsaber ones that kind of come out like that.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
With LEDs.
Well, I'm wondering if they could probably pull that off. Just like if they had some kind of like LED light that had a fiber optic thing that kind of came up and out, that would stop the beam from going. So the light is not a physical thing. You could run your hand through it, but at the other end of the lightsaber, it had something stopping the beam.
Nick, you're fucking giving away all of our patents right now.
I'm getting my degree in Imagineering.
Yeah,
what I do love is the fact that Disney, this
600 million
childhood company built on, animated movies and all that stuff, is now getting into selling weapons.
Well,
to the
I just want to actually, that was my take on
They're
it.
now going to be arms
Was like,
dealers.
Well, they're already pros at cryogenic freezing.
What's his name? What was the first guy's name? Was it Michael Eisner? Was like in the 90s, early 2000s was the CEO.
Yeah.
Okay. He was like,
over.
all right, cool. Animated movies and Pixar. Like that's what we're going to focus on. Bob Iger was like, I'm just going to buy shit. And then Bob Chapek gets in there in 2019 and just goes, military contracts.
We're arms dealers now. We're diversifying.
That's why they're putting so much money into Avatar. They're like, oh, we're gonna put soldiers' brains into these big blue bodies.
People on the moon.
We're
putting motherfuckers in blue bodies. That's what we doing, all right?
They're gonna start trying to monetize unobtainium,
yeah,
which is the greatest name of an element ever.
And then they're making all these, like Star Wars lands and everything, so we get real used to aliens and like maybe want to kiss an alien sooner or later. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I thought about it.
I've been there. Who hasn't?
Which alien in Star Wars would you want to kiss the most?
Oh, so you know.
Oh, dude.
Hit that too quickly.
Maz
I didn't go that
Kanata.
far.
Maz Kanata.
Dude, Jabba the
Probably the
Hutt.
one I'm thinking of.
I love a bleep.
More like Jabba the Slut. Am I right?
No, what was the blue lady with the two things coming out her head? and
Yeah,
Jabba?
that's-
Twi'leks.
No, I
Oh
want-
yeah,
who's
the Twilight dancer. Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Ahsoka. There we go.
Okay, all right.
One of the Mandalorians, because they at least look human.
Is that,
No,
is
no,
that,
it's gotta be like an alien, not a humanoid. It's gotta have some weird feature, like at least be like, if we were talking Star Trek, be like a Klingon and have something that's a little bit
It's-
not human.
Can it
It's
be a
gotta have,
robot?
Like one extra appendage. kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Can
no,
I
no, no.
stick it in
you know that chick from the
R2D2?
Clone Wars who had like the two things?
Yeah.
What? Oh, Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano. Dude, the way you say Star Wars names is the best. Ahsoka
Oh,
Tano.
actually,
Do you
can we
want-
pull
do you
up
want
a
me to
list
just
of
go
like
through
the
and-
hardest
Yeah.
Star Wars names?
I'll do it.
Da,
Star Wars
da, da,
character.
da, da. All right.
Like you know how to pronounce them, like 'cause
Yeah, I
Han
do.
Solo.
Okay,
language.
because I fucking watched The Mandalorian. Okay, I
Yeah, like,
know
when
how
you
to say
speak
it.
the language. Like,
Actually,
okay.
how? Yeah, all right. What's the Mandalorian's real name?
Din Djarin.
Okay.
Okay, ready? I got. So we
Someone
got
confirm that?
Deepa
I don't know
Bilaba.
if that's- Someone confirm it.
So we've got Kanan Jarrus. You know we got Qui-Gon Jinn.
just fire them up, rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Come on,
Orky
let's hear it.
Kurzi, Gar Saxon, Tiber Saxon, Ursa Wren,
Oh, Saxon Brothers.
Finis,
Ah, yes, the
Finis
Saxon
Valorum.
Bros.
oh my god, Cut Laquana. I don't know any of these.
Who came up with these? That's what I want to know.
Hondo
Who's the
Bowl.
guy? Who's the guy ripping peyote coming
The
up with these names?
story
George
division.
Lucas.
That's true. That's true. It's not peyote.
And of,
It's
and
Jacob.
of course, the most difficult and final one, Luke Skywalker.
Oh, he was ripping those death sticks.
Do you want any death sticks? You do
Listen,
not want to sell me death sticks.
You want to give me?
I
that
saw a
stick.
meme. I saw a meme today that actually said like it had the "We're not the droid. These are not the droids you're looking for." Instead, it was just like he just goes drive a TIE fighter into the Death Star, and he just goes, "I'm gonna drive a TIE fighter into the Death Star."
I will drive a TIE fighter into the Death Star.
And then it's just like the credits. You see like the dun, 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 dun. All right. Listen, my only thought I had on that whole story was just that. So now that they're making real lightsabers, we need a real Captain America shield so we can answer the age-old question: will a lightsaber cut through Captain America's shield?
I think
Lightsaber
apples
or
and
vibration?
oranges, bro.
Huh?
Apples and oranges.
If
You
my
don't mix
son
those.
asks me that in the future, I won't know how to answer him.
It's lightsaber, obviously.
It is lightsaber.
It isn't. It isn't.
Why
I
not?
just I don't feel that it is.
Show me one instance in any.
I just
Star
can't.
Wars
I
where a
don't know
lightsaber
why
cannot cut
I would
through
feel a
Where's the
certain
map?
way about.
So
A
your
certain-
whole argument is based on emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your whole argument
And
is
a
based on
tattoo.
the tattoo you have.
Yes.
Mhm. Which
Pat-
is
So-
what the lightsaber can cut off.
I was gonna say, can the lightsaber cut off that arm, and then we'll see how smart you're talking.
I guess we'll have to fucking find out.
Because
Hi, everyone.
Coming up with lightsaber technology.
Hi
they
everyone.
will by far come
Welcome to
up with
Nerd Shit
vibration.
Live. I now
You don't
only
wanna
have
give
one fucking
that
arm.
would be even worse. Giving those kids those shields, they'd be hitting people in the shins with those.
Yo,
They'll be
It'd
breaking
be like
people's
razor
noses.
scooters.
nothing
Yeah.
would be greater than
I
just
mean, you could
fucking.
give a kid
ha
a
at
2x4
somebody.
and he'll do the same thing.
Mhm.
That's true.
You ever see
Imagine
people
just
get
how
hit in the
military-grade
face
weapon.
with those shields in those movies? Some people are just like, it's like, damn, yo, that's a contusion. Like they are definitely fucked up. And then like
Oh, the
there's
nose is
in the
broken.
Avengers one, Thor gets hit in the face with it, and like it's like nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, I know the episode just came out on Friday, but the most recent not Captain America, Falcon Winter
Falcon
Soldier,
Winter Soldier.
Zemo gets hit in the head. I was like, he's dead. He's
Yeah,
dead.
I was like,
I
he
thought
has
they
to
killed
be.
him. I thought it just like would have. I was like, oh, he's done. He's
They
got brain
weren't
damage.
even
If
super
anything. like
soldiers.
simple.
All right. Moving on, boys. Tonight, our main topic is video games in 2011. Literally, probably one of the greatest years in gaming. Well, actually, I don't know about that. I feel like that's hard to quantify.
Oh, there's a
Wanna know
lot of.
why,
There's a lot of
why I
good instances.
consider it the best year in gaming? It's because of Smurfs Dance Party.
Dude,
That was-
you took my number one.
God damn it,
I'm
my
sorry.
list
How
is
many-
ruined.
Nick, how many hours you got in Smurfs Dance Party?
At least 3.
So,
The gameplay is 20 minutes long.
and he just does it over and over and over again. So, the way that we did this segment was we went back 10 years and we took 2 games that we love and 1 game that we hated that came out in 2011. And I'm interested to know, like, I'm interested to see what most of you guys have picked. The guy below me, though, I was with him in 2011. I know what he was playing. So, that
Oh,
being
you mean
said,
you weren't with me because I was playing this?
Yo.
so okay, weird. Anyway,
Were you guys fingering each other
Anyway.
in 2011?
No, scissors.
that was
What about
2010.
scissoring?
That was 2010. That was 2010.
Oh, yeah.
I did that.
Put that behind us.
So,
Man,
right off the
2000.
I
bat,
met you in 2011.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
right,
Now I'm getting sentimental.
right off the bat, we're gonna start with some trivia off the top. So, first of all, it's actually been 10 years now that Minecraft came out. Minecraft came out November 18th, 2011. So I guess it's gonna be 10 in November, 9.5. Growing up nice and strong, and you
Round it
know
up.
that game set the template for 2 of the biggest genres that came after, survival and battle royale. You know, Minecraft started that. Next was Words with Friends was absolutely huge. I don't know one person who wasn't playing Words with Friends at the time in 2011. Like everybody I know.
Frank still plays Words with Friends.
Yeah,
right,
it's still
Frank?
popular today,
Yeah,
but it's
it's still
not
pretty
it's
big.
not it's not as massive as it once was though.
Yeah.
Uh,
In 2011, most people had like 6 games going at the same time.
yeah. Second thing, third, excuse me. Rock artists still made money from royalties from Rock Band and from God, what was the other one? Guitar Hero. They were making money off of that.
Are they not now?
Well, they're not nearly as popular. Nobody plays those games.
Oh, I thought you meant like they stopped doing royalties. Just like, oh, sorry guys.
You're done.
Sorry, you can't have any more.
You don't-
No,
you
no,
don't
no,
get it
no.
anymore.
Hold on. Do you remember how they used to they not in the first couple Guitar Heroes they couldn't get the actual license for the song because it would have been too expensive.
As performed by, or
So
originally
as
performed by.
So they re-recorded a bunch of versions for old ones, and you're like, why does this sound so janky?
Yep. And then Rock Band 3, they actually got the actual
Yeah. Well, they
artists.
started doing all of the Green
Rock
Day,
Band,
Rock Band,
Aerosmith.
Yeah, Aerosmith ones. But you
Metallica,
can't
yeah.
not.
Guitar Hero.
It
I
was a
can't
Metallica
believe I didn't
one?
play the Metallica one.
I don't even remember that.
That was
All
a
right.
big one. Yeah, it was just Metallica Guitar Hero.
It was Metallica, Aerosmith, Van Halen had one.
Mhm.
Green Day had one.
Green Day had one. That's cool too.
Pretty
I had
good.
Rocksmith in 2013 to
We'll get to that.
help me actually learn how to make the proper chords. Like that game actually worked.
My list would say otherwise, but we'll get to that.
If you could get it to work, it was definitely helpful. Fourth, Skylanders was the first AR game to come out. It's the first augmented reality game to be able to put on a home console or a phone.
What Skylanders?
Yeah, what was it?
Skylanders was the next evolution of Spyro. So pretty much what it was is basically they took the concept of amiibos from Nintendo and you just placed them on a mat that was hooked up to your Wii, and that made the character available in the game. So you had collectibles that affected your
remember
real life
this.
game.
Yeah,
Skylanders
yeah.
was the first one to do that. And then Nintendo came with amiibos and so on and so forth. Then and this is what I found interesting. Video game and real life violence were still argued that they were strongly linked together. So it's come very far in the last 10 years how we've actually scientifically moved away from that narrative. And, not to bring up the last 4 years, but you look at some of the things that the previous administration tried to blame the violence on in our country, and they brought up video games. I was like, oh, okay, they just want to rally up all the old fucking boomers. That's exactly what this
Getting
is.
the band back.
Yeah,
together.
pretty much. I was like, oh, I forgot
This
they
whole
used to
thing
play
again.
these hits. And the reason for that this is actually staying power, this narrative is true, and that it's a narrative that it's scientifically proven. It's not how you train people to murder people. Glenn Beck no longer brings this up on his programming. Jack Thompson, who made his whole career out of trying to sue Grand Theft Auto, got his license, his bar the New York State bar, or maybe Miami, wherever the fuck he was, I don't care. They rejected he can no longer legally practice law because of lack of evidence in trying to pursue a case that didn't exist. Kind of wish that happened to Rudy Giuliani. Yeah, dude, why do you think they're all these lawyers are calling for Rudy Giuliani to lose his license,
to be disbarred?
To be
I had no
disbarred.
idea that was
It's
the
because
thing.
like if you keep
That
trying
was
to,
the
You
reasoning.
can't
you
just
can't just
file
file a
level of,
lawsuit
like-
over and over again when you have no evidence. It's it's fucking frowned upon. You know what I mean?
Also,
Yeah.
that press conference was abysmal.
Yeah, true. I
Oh,
mean,
the Four Seasons.
he
The Four
literally
Seasons.
gave. I mean, don't get me wrong. I always say people confuse lawyers for saviors from fear, but he gave lawyers a bad name that day, like really
We're
fucking
getting a
bad.
little off track. here.
So yeah, either way though,
Sorry, this was a
Um,
soapbox Pat needed to hop up on.
yeah, either way though,
Give me 5 more minutes.
either way though, this is just 5 little things of trivia I looked up today, in regards to gaming in 2011. So Danny, we're gonna throw it off to you though first. I want to hear what your favorite 2 games were and your most hated one was.
Okay. We're going to start off with considered one of the greatest games of all time,
I
Batman Arkham City.
God
Oh.
damn it!
This is why I wanted to discuss it before. I figured
Can I-
you were going to pick that one.
Can I propose a rule change before we go forward?
Yeah.
I already said my one, so I'm not taking
I'm not
it
gonna.
back.
I'm not gonna take that away from you.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say is, let's do a circle so we each get one. You know.
Oh,
so, like,
fair
Danny,
enough.
don't run through your
Fair
whole list,
enough.
we'll go in a
Okay,
circle.
yeah. No, that's a good idea. Okay, and since we both have this one on our list, we could both just talk about it then.
That works. That works.
Okay,
And,
all right.
And I, in case someone brings up my other one, I will still be talking about my other one. Anyway,
So,
it's nothing
You don't
to do
get
about
to.
it.
yeah, pretty much. All right.
So,
So go ahead.
Arkham City. I've never played a Batman game up until this point. I'm not even sure how many of them there were up until Arkham City came out in 2011. But this was the perfect embodiment of Batman that I have ever seen in a medium like
I didn't
this.
even know you
the
played that
loop-
game at the time.
What was that?
I didn't know you played that game at the time.
Yeah, no, I remember I got it for Christmas that year.
Oh,
And
I got it for
granted,
Christmas
did-
too.
Did I play it that time? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I played it in 2011, but either or, it's a game that came out in 2011 that
Yeah.
if anything, I played in 2012.
No, I got it. I got it for Christmas too. And I remember I actually still kind of feel bad about this because so you know how that game you have to have the Catwoman DLC or it fundamentally changes how the game opens, like how the game
Yeah.
starts.
That was
And
annoying.
Rocksteady knew they fucked up, so they did not make that as a part of the next Batman game. However, I did not know that the DLC code for Catwoman was in the manual of the game. So
Oh.
I asked my mom on Christmas morning, can I have your credit card? Because I need $25 to unlock this stupid fucking. So then I did the whole thing. You know, you had to, I downloaded all that shit. I got the DLC and everything. And as I start, I remember I just decided to look in the manual just to see like, because, games used to come with manuals that told you how to play the fucking game.
Yeah, that had instructions.
It had
on how to
instructions
play it.
on it.
Had
And
controller
I remember I
controls.
just opened it up and the fucking card dropped right out. I was like, oh my God, I'm such an asshole. I
Mom, I'm
I
so
still feel
sorry.
guilt for that 10 years later. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I remember that. That's probably the one bad thing about the game. Because other than that, I have nothing but praises to sing about it.
Yeah.
It was the fighting and the action, although sometimes it did get a little repetitive with the action in terms of block, strike, counter, all that. It really captured the brutality of Batman, and like you felt every single
Yeah,
punch.
it feels
Every
like
punch and kick made the controller vibrate.
it feels like a really awesome, like it feels like you're taking place in a Batman comic book that incorporates all of his villains. But also, just before we jump to the next one, I think it's important to point out that this game not only proved that licensed games can be absolutely amazing and can be Game of the Year games, and not only that, it created the free flow combat system that literally every third person fucking
Yup.
action game uses the same button combination that
Yup.
they were using 10 years ago. And Warner Brothers learned from that. They're trying to patent all of their new game mechanics so people just can't steal them. But it's one of those things where I'm like, it's so good though. Let every game have it. Like Spider-Man 2018 had that combat system, still worked. It was still amazing. The Shadow of War games, you know, they use that combat system. It's perfect. It's amazing. Assassin's Creed's kind of falling behind, but
you know, don't patent it. You
yeah,
know,
don't
like
patent it.
penicillin.
Let
You
everyone
didn't
do
patent
it. So
Just let everybody have it. Same thing.
So-
I don't understand how you could. I don't understand how you can patent like
Yeah,
a conceptual thing in that way. Like
Well-
I feel it's too above board. Like I mean, I know how you can like get around it and being like, this is a technology that we've come up with and it's specifically designed and we created this whole battle system and we've trademarked it now so it's patentable, and it's just like, okay, well, can you patent a style of art? Can you patent like
I
a
mean,
sound of a guitar? Like
can you
yes, kind
patent
of,
the-
but not really.
it's like there's only so many buttons that are able to be used on an Xbox or a PlayStation. Like, how can you patent that? But
Right.
anyway, I mean, aside from that, the fighting, incredible. The open world, absolutely amazing. And then the fact that it also shows you not only how incredible the fighter Batman is, but how he is the world's greatest detective. And some of those stealth detective things, or like those moments, are actually extremely challenging.
yeah, sexy
Like, there's
Batman
somewhat-
vision.
Yeah. Like there's challenging like in the storyline itself, but even the side missions with the Riddler, like there was a whole like you had to find like 100 like Riddler, what's it called?
144
trophies.
Riddler trophies, and I fucking
144
did
Riddler.
every single one that summer.
Pat, I
Makes
really
sense.
feel like you're pissed at me because you know way more about the game, and I just took it. But
No.
This is his
anyway.
platform as well. He can talk.
But I mean, it was just a perfect game, and even like the puzzles were so challenging that I got to a point with the Riddler ones that I was like, I'm done trying to find these because I'm not going above and beyond for a character that was butchered by Jim Carrey in the 1990s.
Butchered.
And I'm done with it.
But all right, well,
Butchered.
that's a different
Butchered.
conversation. But
Butchered. That
all
old
right,
movie was
so let's get to
butchered.
the next one.
Okay,
So Burke, you're up, right?
We're gonna have a segment. We're gonna have a segment, a preceding episode that's just it's a versus over like Jim Carrey's performance of the Riddler. We're gonna
love
have this discussion in the next week or two.
All right, so Burke, you're up next now with your first one, right?
So I'm going to. I actually subcategorized this because I couldn't end up picking one. So I picked a couple that were like my clear picks.
Oh,
That I was like, people probably have picked these other ones too, but I'm gonna go with the ones that I liked, and this is gonna be a deep cut. But Lego Star Wars 3 Clone Wars came out that year, and I cannot tell you the amount of time I've spent playing those games. And to be fair, like later on down the line a little bit more when they had the sagas come out and they re-released them all like as a collective game. But I went through and
they're
I
doing
found
it again.
every-
They're doing it again. They're coming out with the whole
goddamn-
Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I went through and found every single goddamn brick, every single goddamn token. Like I
You filled your
perfected,
coin meter for every
Yes.
level.
I perfected that game because this was, when I was younger and the OCD was not as prominently out there.
But I
It's
think,
not as under
Yeah.
control.
well, hold on.
Yeah, right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Lego games, but let's be honest. You play one Lego game, you play them all. Like it's just
yes and
your
no.
flavor.
Well, hey,
It's just
Pat,
your
Pat,
flavor of Lego game, you know?
I think that this is like the rules of like where's your memories, 10 years ago, what were you doing? It's not about if it's the best game of all time, it's about how it hits you emotionally.
Right, and then me at 18 was loving some Lego Star Wars.
Okay, maybe
I-
that isn't the best thing to
funny-
say out loud. Yeah, you knew.
Hey,
The funniest things about these
colours.
games that I really enjoyed was there's no speaking dialogue in any of these games because they're Legos, so they just make a bunch of like weird noises that are kind of semi in like that, like if you have like a gruff character, they're just just like the you have these really dramatic cinematic occurrences that they're Legos, and then like if someone dies they just break into the Lego parts and fall apart.
So wait, what does Jar Jar Binks sound like?
I don't even. Well, it's like like
The first Lego game to feature voice actors was Lego Batman 2, DC Superheroes or whatever the fuck it was. That's the first open world Lego game, and the first one to feature, like I said, voice actors. But it was the only voice actor they got from any of the material was the guy who played Lex Luthor on the animated TV show. And they made him Lex Luthor, and then everybody else was just these wild casting choices for the Lego characters.
Was Will Arnett Batman?
No, he was not.
Later on.
Goodness. Okay.
Later on,
Okay.
he was. You can be assured that he was Batman, but
So Lego Star Wars 3 Clone Wars. Check it out.
all right, Nick, you're up.
Deep cut.
So I made. I'm gonna say everybody feel free to jump in on this one because I picked the obvious one. I was not a big gamer back in the day, but that like my introduction to gaming was hanging out with my buddy, sitting on his couch from 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. Saturday morning, drinking Rockstar or Monster and eating Starbursts, playing
Gamer fuel.
Skyrim.
That was my other one. That was my
Yeah,
other
I
one.
figured. So everybody feel free to jump in on this. 'Cause I
Yeah,
was
you
more of a-
guys aren't gonna like what I have to say.
I was.
This
I
is
was
a safe space, Pat. Okay, we're not
Has
at the
to be.
bad games yet.
But do you remember like?
Oh, we're
how
not?
the map of that game was like it was the first of its kind to have this big, huge open world map.
Yeah.
I just remember wanting to explore every single cave, climb every mountain, talk to every NPC. Just I remember just being blown away by saying video games can do this.
Yeah. No,
The
I mean,
sheer scale of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many storylines, and even granted, the stories aren't that great to begin with, like the storylines. But it's just the fact that you can at one point go from saving the world from dragons, and then just decide, you know what? Fuck the world. I'm gonna go just find nin roots all over the place and pick flowers for this one guy, or like I'm gonna go find this guy's sword. And then you have the option of when you find the guy's sword, you can then give it to him and he gives you money, and then you can kill him and you can just take the sword, use it once, and then put it in a chest and never see it again. And I think that's beautiful about video
Mhm.
games. I think that's a beautiful thing. But I mean, it's just such a rich game, and it has so much replayability factor.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
it's-
Before
yeah.
I know Pat is itching to dive into it, but
Oh, I
I've-
know, and I'm
I've-
just trying to prevent him from talking.
I have
'cause-
I have a little quick story. So my roommate freshman year had bought this game and had played it like, I don't know, for like 10 minutes because he saw like all the hype that was coming out about it, and he was like, oh, this isn't for me. I thought it might be something else. He's like, do you want to buy it off me? So I was like, sure. So I buy it and I start playing it, and I had the exact same reaction that Nick had, being like, whoa, like this, you can do this, and look at over here, and then like
Absolutely
I remember-
visceral. No.
yeah, visceral. So I remember like starting it up, and I think he went like out or something, and he went to like class or something, and he came back like later on, and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and he comes back in, and I'm still in the common room playing this game, and it was one of those. He's like, "Oh my god, you're still here!" And it was that situation where you kind of just like look up, and you're like,
This is not
your
the
eyes
first
are
time.
red, and you are just like, what day is it?
This is not the first time I've heard that story from college students playing Skyrim when it came out.
Oh yeah.
So-
it came out my freshman year at least, and I remember
Yeah.
just walking through the dorm, and it'd be like, "Hey man, where have you been?" He was like, "I've just been playing Skyrim for 25 hours straight," because it's just that type of a game.
Mhm.
And what I love about it is just how I never really played fantasy games before that. I was never a big fantasy guy. And I then went and I played Oblivion after I played Skyrim. What I love about Skyrim is how accessible it is to the casual gamer like myself. Whereas it's an RPG, but it's very simplified. There's a perk tree. There's stamina, magicka, health that you can choose to put perk points into and stuff
Magicka.
like that. But at least, shut your mouth. But at least there is, like, I then played Oblivion. Oblivion is like almost like Dungeons and Dragons, at
Mhm.
least to me, where it's like you have agility, you have athletics, you have this, you have that, and it just blows my mind. At least this one is accessible, and I was like, this is great. I can go from being a sneaky archer to
That's
a
the only way to
mage,
play.
back to a sneaky archer,
Sneaky
to a
archer.
two-hander, back to a sneaky archer. It was just, it's great. And then especially, and I'm really just trying to filibuster before Pat can talk, but really then what made this game great afterwards was, and what happens with a lot of games, not just Skyrim, but is then the modding community. I don't
Ooh.
play unless Macho Man Randy Savage is my dragon now. All the time. Macho Man Randy Savage is my dragon. And
Wait,
Nick, it is exactly what it sounds like.
Does it look like him or sound like him or both?
Both.
Both. It is Macho Man Randy Savage stretched to the size of a dragon. And
have to look
you
this
just
up.
and when you before you see him, all you hear is Macho Man coming, and then he just flies in and he's just like, oh yeah, and he's just breathing fire at you. But I mean, there's stuff like that. You can make Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
your,
Thomas the Tank
I know
Engine.
this
Thomas
dragon.
the Tank Engine's my favorite mod that they make villains
yeah.
in games
He's
like
everywhere.
Mr. X and Resident Evil. Like you just hear the whistle down the hall, and then it comes around the hall, and instead of footprints, it's the chugging. Like, dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, it's there he
There
is.
he is,
There
yeah,
he is. It's
that's him.
terrifying. But yeah, so I mean, the modding community, which another thing they did, this is going to be controversial, but the modding community made it possible to finally kill children in Skyrim.
Yes.
Which, if you
Yes.
ask me, children were the biggest pricks in Skyrim. They were absolute assholes who needed to get murked. And so
Murk.
someone came up with a mod to allow you to murk them. And so I then proceeded to download that mod and find every child that I hated.
We didn't even touch on like the memeability of this game. Like-
100%, yeah.
Like
10 years later,
the
yeah.
arrow to the knee, like that was
Yeah.
huge.
I mean,
There's
I,
so much to
I like
and
the
even like
memes.
make fun of Todd Howard, the director of the
Yeah.
game. Because I mean,
Oh,
don't
the
get me
whole
wrong,
intro?
I'm
Like,
yeah,
Oh,
Bro.
yeah.
you're
Yeah,
finally
that's-
awake.
yeah.
Bro, I love the
See that
meme.
like,
I love
3
the
times a
meme
day.
where it says like it's Todd Howard and he's walking up to the vending machine and it says money machine and it says new IP and then underneath like Skyrim for your contacts.
Re-release, yeah.
And he just hits the button and it comes out and like the guy with him's like, God damn it, Todd. Like
Oh, yeah.
but actually it's funny that you guys brought up Skyrim as like, you know, one of the I mean, listen, it is one of the best games of all time, but it's on my list too, but it's actually my most hated game of 2011.
Ooh.
Now, here the reason
You
for
want-
that,
let's just jump to it. Let's jump to it.
the reason that I just didn't like, I didn't connect with it. I couldn't get into it. I wasn't into the fantasy stuff. I also I have an intimidation issue with large games. Like Breath of the Wild scared me until I just jumped into it because I didn't know like, will I ever beat it? You know, that type of thing. Either way though, I gave Skyrim an honest go twice after that, and it just hasn't caught me. Like I'm one of those people who never played Skyrim more than 5
You tried.
hours. I tried though.
I get
and
your
like I'm
intimidation.
gonna
I don't-
try Elder Scrolls 6 because it can't be a worse game, but I'm just so not into Skyrim. Like I just don't get it.
I've never finished Skyrim.
Really?
I have never finished the main story of Skyrim because I've
Oh.
tried to do every single element of it as well. Like,
No, it really is hard. And Pat brings up a good point with Breath of the Wild. I had the same feeling with Breath of the Wild, where I picked it up, started playing it, and then suddenly you get an idea of how big. Which Breath of the Wild map is.
It's
think
much bigger
5
than
times
Skyrim.
five
Yeah.
times bigger
Yeah.
than Skyrim. And so I saw that and I got intimidated, put it down, and then quarantine happened, the pandemic happened, and then I picked it back up and it was amazing.
Also,
It was
I mean, you
one of the
guys,
greatest
you
games,
guys
yeah.
know me as like a gamer. You know what I mean? Like you guys know what the types of games I like, and Skyrim does not fit that profile. Then again, Breath of the Wild didn't either. You know what I mean?
that
And
game
that's
is-
you
like-
also played Dark Souls, which I feel like it's not fully Skyrim. It's very different. But
It's
it still
not
has that
Skyrim.
fantasy element.
I mean,
It has
yeah,
that fantasy
But I
feel.
also
It's
feel
very
like
similar in-
that game,
Oh.
like Dark Souls. I mean, like you're right, it is related in genre, like the setting that it's in. But I also feel like the main driving point of Dark Souls is the world building and the actual gameplay. Like you can't
difficulty, yeah.
get that type of gameplay anywhere else. Not even the difficulty, just the actual like physical combat of that game and like the timing you need is it's totally different from Skyrim. But that's not my point. My point is though, I was not super hot on Skyrim and it just never caught me. I'm not super big on Bethesda games until they started putting Doom out.
That's fair.
Yeah, I
um,
get that.
But
they have a tendency to just be clanky and
yeah,
jumpy,
and like the
especially
other
at first.
the other
Rattlers go
problem is
out.
that Skyrim was one of the first Bethesda games to come out and be like super jank. I mean like super jank. And that started the whole meme of like aha, Bethesda's putting out a new game. I wonder how many bugs will be at launch.
Yeah.
And
I wonder when
that
the
was
modding
funny.
community will
That was
fix it.
funny up until Fallout 76 tried to take advantage of that and fucking put out literally an unplayable piece of garbage that wasn't even
Yeah.
well balanced as a game. And
Yeah.
they like straight up lied to people for months about how great this game was going to be, what it could do. It didn't even do half of what they said it was. There's a great internet historian video on it if anyone's looking for it.
We talked about Cyberpunk last week already, Pat.
Oh yeah, you're right. Shit, you're right. Sorry, my bad. I
Alright.
didn't mean to bring that up. But once again, another Skyrim's a good comparison of how far we've come in 10 years. Where one, Skyrim is still fucking relevant, and two, the lessons that you should have learned in Skyrim as a developer have not carried over a decade later because
Oh, yeah,
they never
absolutely.
learn. But all right, so moving on though, my second favorite game on my list of that year, which there's no way anybody else has this pick. I was originally gonna go with Modern Warfare 3 because
I was about to say,
I
I would put
expected
money
that
that
from
was
you.
good.
because
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna pick because I really like that game. However, I went with Dead Space 2, which once again makes a lot of sense when you think about the type of games I like. I don't imagine anybody else has that, right?
No.
No,
So-
I've never played any of the Dead Space games, and I know we've talked about
We
playing
should
them, so
you play 1 and 2 and then let's co-op 3 because I've never played 3.
hell yeah.
But Dead Space 1, literally like they ripped off Resident Evil, put it in space, and it was awesome. It's fucking awesome. That's all it is. Dead
There
Space.
was no original thinking, and it was
Dead,
great.
Dead
And
Space.
I
Well,
wanted
the
every
original,
part of
the
it.
way you kill the enemies is not just headshots. You got to literally cut off their
Yeah.
limbs, and the
Yeah.
guns you're using are actually engineering tools, and the suit that you're wearing is an engineer's suit. Like it's all based around this guy's like sci-fi job, pretty much on this like space station that got overtaken by aliens. So, just a couple of things. Like I said, combat was really nice, story was really nice in the first game. The second game, though, was way more action, way more horror, except the scariest thing in the whole game is when you're walking through like the preschool or nursery on the ship. Like, because the ship is like a colony thing that's like moving across to like go to some other settlement or whatever. So they have like a school for kids. Is like you're in like the backstage area of their theater and literally like you turn around and they just drop a cardboard like sun in front of you, like with a like big, happy, big smile on it, like, and it just comes out of nowhere. I remember it scared the shit out of me back then. It scared the shit out of a lot of people. Like if you go on Reddit and look that up, people still say it's the scariest part of that game. Either way though, it's fucking awesome. I love it. Burke, you should play it. It's on Game Pass.
It is on
It's
my
on-
check it out.
It's on
list.
Game Pass. So
And
Xbox Game Pass.
I've seen there was a video that I saw of the game director for, it wasn't the second one, it was actually the first one, and he was just talking about the level of detail that developer put into those games was astonishing.
yeah,
Where there was one scene in particular from the first one.
that's it.
where-
That's the fucking sun. That's the sun.
Yeah,
Pat
that's
runs
horrifying.
away.
So
But there was one scene in particular where like an octopus arm came out and like grabbed you and
mhm.
like started pulling you around. And the level of detail they had to go into just to make that, because they didn't want cutscenes. They didn't want cutscenes.
It's all
they just want you
in-game.
to be immersed. They had to develop that game for where you would be standing in any given position going into that hallway with any given gun. They had to break it down piece by piece.
Yep.
I saw that and I was like, this game, I've never played
The
it,
best-
but this game is
The
amazing.
best part about
Interesting.
that is that when the damage you inflict on the enemy at that time, later on when the boss fight comes up, you can see that damage you put on them. It doesn't affect their health bar. It's just a cool detail. And
That is cool.
the Dead Space, there was supposed to be a Dead Space 4. However, as we know, I think EA owns Visceral Games now. EA,
think
you know,
so.
giant publisher came in, bought the studio, told them, we want you to make Dead Space 3. And by the way, we know it's a single player game, but we're going to shoehorn co-op into it. We're going to make it more action. We're going to drop it from an M to a T rating. And we're going to jam a microtransaction in a single player game in 2011. So this was one of the first signs of that. And then when Dead Space 3 didn't perform as well because, everyone was on to EA's bullshit, they shut down Visceral Studios, making all those people lose their jobs, and they made Dead Space a dead IP, pretty much. So once again, 2011, indicative of the things that were to come over the next decade with the giant publishers.
Makes sense.
It's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. But okay, so enough of my bullshit. Danny, you're up.
All right. So I mean, Nick had my my Skyrim one, so I didn't have a second choice for favorite.
Oh,
so
I can sub you in one if you want.
Go for
Here,
it.
I'll
Take
give
it.
you the Black Eyed Peas experience.
There we go. So let me tell you.
Yes.
Let me tell
Great
you about
game.
the greatness that is Fergie. So, but no, I mean, if it's cool, I'd like to then just jump into the game that I hated.
Yeah.
Or
go for it.
unless
Why
we
not?
go another round robin of games that people liked,
I would say just jump into your hated.
we're just gonna do hated.
Let's go.
Star Wars: The Old Republic. Fuck
thought you were-
that
I
game.
thought you were coming at Lego Star Wars. For
Oh
Yeah, I
I've-
did too.
That would be
I would
so
never
great.
jump Lego
That would have been
IP.
so great if that was Danny's most hated game. It's like, what the fuck?
You hate it so much that it's your one solid choice. But talk about this other Star Wars game. for
I
me.
mean, Star Wars: The Old Republic is, it's technically reviewed fairly well. It's been successful. It's still successful to this day, where there are still millions of people that are playing that game and subscribing to play that game every month. But it exemplified everything that I hated about an MMO. It's just nonstop grind. The story is like mediocre, even though a lot of people talk about how great the storyline is and all that. I found it to be pretty mediocre just for the fact that you had to go days of grinding and just killing small animals and doing these crappy side missions just to then get to the final plot point, or like the next plot point that already no longer has the same emotional weight as it did than when you finally were getting to that point before. I fucking hate that game. And then, on top of that, they have such a dichotomy of light side choices versus dark side choices, where like a mission could be you have to give this town, like, I don't know, you have to bring them back like their water supply or something like that. And then if you do a light side choice, you can either choose light side, which is you give them their water, you give them all the money you have, you give them all the clothes off your back, and then you let them fuck your significant other. Or you have the dark side choice.
See, that's what I figured.
And-
I thought it was gonna be like you take like a dark side mission that's like, oh, burn down the orphanage, or it's like the light
Kill
side
the
mission,
youngling.
make clay like fucking Play-Doh with them or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh no,
Go
it's
tend
like
the
you either,
communal
so it'd be like, okay, it's a little different.
it's like you either give them everything you have, or you go the dark side route, which is you poison their water supply, steal all their money,
Burn
put
our
it in-
crops,
there, booze.
poison
and
our
then
water.
use the- and then use the Force to prevent their children from learning how to read. It's so back ass words opposite. And then on top of that, my final
Back
point, and this
ass
is,
words, everybody. That
Back
is an
ass words.
That was
That says
intentional, I think.
that was
Oh,
a
hell
passionate back ass words.
and then my last and final point is they absolutely nerfed and butchered the character of Darth Revan, which if you know anything about the
I haven't
Star
played
Wars
yet.
universe,
It's only been 15 years.
if you know anything about the Star Wars universe, you know Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic goes down as one of the greatest.
Literally
video
one of the
games
greatest games of all time. Yeah.
Came out in 2003.
We
where
should
you
play it. We should fucking play it.
I'm down to play.
Is there there's multiplayer in that, right?
Is there?
No, there's no multiplayer.
Oh no, that is the
multiplayer.
Old Republic. Shit. Okay, no, keep
No,
going.
that's the Old
Fuck.
Republic. Yeah, no, Knights of the Old Republic is available on Game Pass though, so you can go back and play
I have it on
It's-
Steam. But Danny,
Yeah.
just to add to your point about the Old Republic and how many people are joining that game, right? There's actually speculation from the KOTOR 2 crew, we'll put it like that,
Oh,
that
okay.
the reason there is no KOTOR 3 is because the Old Republic
EA games.
well, obviously,
Yes,
but
but-
because the Old Republic is still so successful, the BioWare's like, why waste
Yeah.
our time? You know?
Exactly. No,
crazy.
exactly. And I mean, I would love a KOTOR
And-
3, but considering what they did to Darth Revan, which again, they simply took one of the greatest characters and they nerfed him and they just made him a villain to like both light and dark side. It was bizarre. They absolutely gave him a terrible ending to his story. And then you kill him in like the easiest boss fight in the world.
I just kind of
But
feel
anyway.
like how do I describe it? Like KOTOR
Goodwill Hunting.
yeah, Goodwill Hunting.
Yes.
KOTOR, you know what's funny? Somehow, after all these times you've done that, I still don't see it coming. So, KOTOR 1, they made like what? It took them 2 or 3 years to make the game. KOTOR 2,
yeah.
they licensed out to somebody else, and it took them 14 months for a turnaround for a sequel. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, 14 months on the shelves. One of the greatest
And it
games of
was-
all time. But
It
then
was good.
BioWare.
KOTOR 2 was still good.
Yeah, and
It
then
was not as good as
BioWare.
KOTOR 1. Some people go back and forth, but it was still
I
amazing.
feel like it's like the same thing with the Terminator series. You know, it's do you like horror, do you like action? They're both fucking good.
Yeah.
What's it called? But then BioWare was working on The Old Republic. They weren't concerned with making a sequel to KOTOR. That's
Yeah.
why they made somebody
Yeah.
else license. They didn't even think that was going to be that big of a success. So I understand why that they're staying the course and like no KOTOR 3. But I
And-
do know that The Old Republic is like a lot of people think it's a big piece of shit.
Oh, I hated it. I was a subscriber for probably, I want to say 6 months or something like that. And I mean, I did one of those things where I bought like 6 months in advance. 1 month in, I was like, well, I'm getting my money's worth and I'm trying to play every single character. Biggest waste of time. I'll never get those 6 months back to myself. But anyway, that's my
We
soapbox.
got Alex
that game.
in the chat also saying that Old Republic was a huge disappointment. So
There we
boring.
go. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, but he also criticizes the video
Camaraderie.
games I like. So do you like any games that
We know
aren't
where you
super
stand.
linear and story driven? I just got fucking finished saying I like Breath of the Wild, god damn it.
Yeah, but you were scared.
My
of it.
fucking open
scared
Out of your wheelhouse.
my fucking
Yeah,
one of my
yellow belly.
other favorite game is literally an open world game.
All right, Mike, what's your number 2?
I put Minecraft.
Okay, fair.
Fair
like,
enough.
It's like the biggest game of all time. That's fair.
Right, like,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be the New York hipster that I can be, and I was playing the beta for Minecraft when it came out. I was playing Minecraft, like I remember playing it pre-college,
Mhm.
and it's
Just
one of
you
those
talking
games-
about this is making me feel a lot of emotion right now. I'm just gonna be forewarning you, okay? Like I fucking have a lot of amazing Minecraft nights, okay?
I know.
Pat's gonna cry.
That there was I don't know I played a lot. I played a decent amount of Minecraft. Maybe like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, there was like a resurgence. I started watching Hermitcraft, which is like a bunch of YouTubers who are all Minecraft YouTubers playing on a server together and just building these absolute batshit things and having stories and everything together. And like I was like, hell yeah! Like look. at
Burke,
what you
is
can
that
do with
one
Minecraft.
guy still traveling through his server all these years later?
Oh yeah.
I know in
Oh,
like
yeah.
I heard in like 2017 or
Zuma.
2016 he was only like a quarter of the way through.
There's
He's
plenty of
going
it, like,
from one end right to the other and he is not stopping.
He ain't stopping, but it's
Is
just
that
like
how big these servers are?
Oh,
I've
on
never played
they're
before.
fucking ginormous. They can
they're,
be as
Okay.
they're technically infinite. Well, they get to a certain
Well,
point where it gets all janky.
the render
Okay.
point is infinite. Whereas if you have the digitization power in your hardware on your server, you can pretty much make it everlasting. Or as so far you'll never get to the end. But like the actual render point is infinite, but it's not technically infinite. You know what I mean? It's like there's an
Okay.
edge, but you might never get to it. That's why this
It-
guy
it-
was like,
it's like
I'm just
how-
gonna
it's
turn
like
my
how
hardware
Pac-Man-
up as hard as I can get and fucking see where it ends.
Yeah. But I mean, it's one of those things where like, I played it 10 years ago and you build little houses and you build little things and you do things. And then now I'm like, we're going to create a 0-tick sugarcane farm using some of this redstone and we're going to take some update from the beta here. And that's a snapshot that's about to be released. Now we have wireless redstone that we can use with these different new sensory, like you can get. People have built video games in Minecraft. People have built
Mhm.
calculators. They've built computers.
You know what? A little birdie told me at dinner that somebody rebuilt the state of New Jersey in Minecraft. Like all
I
of
saw that.
all
yeah.
of the landmarks. Hey, you hear that? I brought it up. You happy?
What?
Don't
Is that
give me
Liz's
shit
mom?
anymore.
It's one of those games that I can I'll pick up and I'll play it aggressively for a couple months. then put it down for like a year, and then be like, look at all the cool shit they updated, and then do the same thing.
Dude, I'm telling you,
over
we
year
gotta
over
get
year.
Nick on Minecraft, bro. It'll be
I'll
over.
play. I play. That was another one for me. Like, one of the earliest memories of me, playing a video game was Minecraft at my buddy Kevin's house. For hours and hours, and just waking up, or falling asleep at 6 a.m.
Oh, it's
I love.
Asbury.
Yeah, that's Asbury Park.
Sleeping all day, staying up all. Copyright. All right. Burkhouse, good
10
choice. I felt really good after you said that. Whew. After my Skyrim rant.
Oof.
So Nick, you're up.
So I thought this was going to be a more obvious one, but now that you guys haven't brought it up, maybe not. Portal. Portal 2 came out in
Portal
2011.
2. That's right. I saw that
I
on
have a-
there. I've never played it though.
Yeah,
Neither
I
have
have
I.
a lot of fond memories of these games
I've
just
played 'em.
because number one, the gaming mechanics are one of a kind. Like there's geometry and
Revolutionary.
physics and stuff like that going on. Like incredible sci-fi premise and scary as hell. Like
Help!
I
I
remember.
lost my portal.
No, but like the like the whole time, it winds up the villain is or the person who's guiding you turns out to be the villain, and then
Mhm.
the
I knew
sequel
that
expanding
twist.
on that story. What's that?
I said I knew that twist, so I wasn't gonna be like, stop spoilers.
Yeah,
But I
well,
do-
I mean, it has
I
been
figured
a
the
decade.
game's 10 years old.
Yeah, at this
I didn't know
point,
that
you're
either,
playing
but
for the experience.
We are going.
So
yeah.
wait, that's a horror game? Because I remember.
It's not a horror game technically, but there are psychological
Yeah.
thriller-y moments in it. I think is more so
Well,
I
the-
do
specific
know-
in that way.
like about all like the cake is a lie and all that type of stuff, Pat.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
what? Cake
You know,
is
the
a
cake
lie?
Is, cake is
What
a
do you
lie.
mean cake is a lie? I love cake.
So I'm gonna get
It's a
take that as a
lie.
no. Play
No.
the game.
All cake you've
I
eaten
would
is
say it's
fake.
like
Can we
that
call
game-
is Portal 2 the one you can co-op?
Yeah.
Portal 2 is
All
co-op.
right, I see an opportunity here.
There you go. Nerd Shit Live Twitch.
Yeah.
Nick, that
Um,
makes a lot of. I totally like see how you like love the
And
Portal
it's a
games.
puzzle game, and like all that. I didn't realize until I was looking at my list. I'm like, oh, I really like puzzle games. But yeah, so much fun. Storyline is great. The voice acting is great, even though it's minimal. I
The
highly
storyline is fantastic in the
Mhm.
Portal games. Like you don't anticipate it to be. You're like, oh, this is just puzzle to puzzle to room to room to room. But like you get invested, and it's really funny. It's got like a very like British dry sense of humor about a lot of things because you're having like a robotic voice tell everything. So it's a
Oh,
great
yeah,
game.
Is that
Stephen
Paul
Merchant.
Bettany?
like Prince
Oh,
Philip
it's
coming
Stephen
back
Merchant,
in
and
Call
then,
of Duty Zombies, like that
And then,
kind of
J.K.
British.
Simmons is also in it too, which apparently
he is?
J.K. Simmons was like stole the show essentially.
Is that Cave?
Probably.
I don't know.
A.K. Simmons.
This is just what Joe told me because Joe has played it.
That's right. Joe did tell me he played it. He
yeah,
told me
yeah.
it's-
He plays Cave Johnson.
He's Cave Johnson. Yeah.
All right, yeah,
All right,
okay, I'll put it
Pat.
on the list. I just updated my list of games to play last night. I put fucking Battle for
I should
Bikini
make
Bottom
I should make one of those lists.
rehydrated. Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated, the remaster of SpongeBob.
Oh,
And
that's right. I gotta play that.
fuck, what was the other
I've
one?
watched.
Yo,
a
if we
lot
play
of-
that, we should do an episode on it. And
I'll gladly.
what was
I'll
it?
gladly do that.
Destroy All Humans had a remaster come out this summer, and the price finally
I-
dropped on it. So I want to get
I-
that.
Didn't play it, but I did watch my roommate Matt play it. And
The
there was,
remake or the original one?
the remake? The
Oh,
remake.
The
And
original.
it's fun. It's
yeah.
fun as hell.
The original one, the original two are on PS Now or whatever the fuck that is called.
PlayStation.
Oh,
Now.
okay.
PlayStation Now. So you can get them on there for free. But like I said, the remake just came out, so I definitely want to give that a go. That was one of my all-time favorite games for Xbox back in the day. But that was like in
Nice.
2006. So do we miss anything? Who do
Mike and I did. Mike, did you do your least favorite?
I did not do my least favorite.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
least favorite is I don't know if y'all know it, Binding of Isaac,
No.
which is
What the
so this is
fuck
an old game.
is that?
Yeah, so this is an old game, but it's a massively popular.
About
and it's
10
not
years
gonna-
old.
Yeah, it's about 10 years old. Um,
Right around.
but they're continually releasing DLCs and different things for it. Like earlier this month, they had just released a new update kind of for it in that way. So it's still one of those games where it's continually being changed and everything. But it's a roguelike game which is unsurprising. It's a top-down roguelike.
Yes.
It's kind of like
Yes, Danny, you don't like roguelikes either, right?
I don't
It's
like that. I don't like
it's a-
that image.
It's a well, here's the that's why. So it's an indie roguelike game, and it was predominantly made by like one guy. The main thing, and it's
This guy
like,
has issues.
it's weird. It's got like it reminds me of like
You
it
tell him,
reminds me of
Danny.
something that should have been on like Newgrounds, you know?
Yeah,
need
yeah, I
help.
feel that.
You
guys
let
know
him.
Super
You let him
Meat
know.
Boy? Do you know that game too?
No, I don't know that one either.
But it's just like one of those like old like Newgroundsy looking things where it's like this is really gross and it's gory and it's just like unnecessarily nasty looking, which sucks because apparently this game is fantastic. It is literally one of like the roguelike staples.
It has like 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 everywhere.
Yes, it is literally one of like the best. And the thing is, it's made by a single person, or the original was. So it's like constantly lauded as like an internet like or like a video game roguelike diamond. I cannot get past the fucking images of everything. It's such a gross looking
It's
game.
terrible.
I love
so
the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth.
Yeah.
All right, that's
there's
where I draw the line on that conversation.
Dude, it's just there's like everything is really like kind of bloody but like gross bloody and like gory but ghost, but it's all like done with like little pixel graphics and everything, and it's just like I don't want
It
to
kind of reminds me of Castle
Edmund-
Crashers.
Edmund,
You guys remember
oh,
Castle
what?
Crashers?
Yeah, Edmund.
Edmund,
Castle Crash.
Edmund, you need help.
Yeah,
Um,
Help, sir.
so Nick,
Some of the enemies have like umbilical cords and shit like that, and it's just like gross.
I'm gonna need
I
to
don't
watch some
want-
gameplay after this because now I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
I need some research.
I think I'll
Yeah.
pass.
No, I'll make you watch it.
But I'm like I should
Flip
like
of the
this
week.
kind of game. Oh, Nick has to say his.
Yeah,
his,
Nick, what's yours?
Maybe a surprise, maybe not. Back to the Future, the game.
Oh, of
by
course,
Telltale.
makes sense.
I'm an extremely big Back to the Future fan, and I just feel like it didn't match the tone of the movies. I don't think it like the story was boring and not compelling, and obviously it's a Telltale game, so it's just like point and click, story based adventure. But yeah, it just didn't do anything for me, and I was really disappointed as such a big Back to the Future fan. I'm like, this is not the legacy, it doesn't live up to the legacy.
This game's
was
never
the
on my
story?
radar.
Yeah,
Like,
I never even knew about
I
it.
would-
Yo,
What was the-
Batman did Telltale and it was the shit. But keep going.
It's an episodic graphic. It's like the
Yeah.
the Walking Dead games. I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
It's like point and
So-
click,
Exactly
pretty
the
much.
same
Yeah.
gameplay.
So now, I mean, like I played The Walking Dead one, or at least one of them. I played the Game of Thrones ones, and typically what they do is they make other characters like in the world, and then have you play as them. Was this the same, or are you playing as Marty McFly and Doc? Like, in the game.
I'm pretty sure, like, if I remember correctly, you're playing as Marty, and then they're like, there's all different stories in the episodes, but to me, the most disappointing part was they kind of took all the tropes of Back to the Future, because all the three of the movies use the same humor and jokes, where it's like everybody you interact with, it's like, this is Marty's great grandfather, and that's Doc's dad, and this is Mr. Strickland's mom, and it's like, this could have been a cool opportunity for them to do something a little bit different, and because it's like you're in a game, you're not watching a movie, you could experiment a little bit, but it was just like they took everything from Back to the Future and distilled it and shoved it down your throat. It was like, okay,
Will Marty fuck his mom? Find
Yeah.
out.
That'd be a great choice.
Point and click.
Point and click.
That's one of the story points.
All right. Well,
All right.
that was a good segment. I
wanna
actually
watch
I have a
gameplay
lot.
of that.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
now
watch
I
it.
really want to go back and like, dude, I have a bug up my ass to play Arkham City so bad and Dead Space 2 now. Like, fuck it, I'll give Skyrim another go. Let's see what happens. But with that
Give it a
being
shot.
said,
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
all right. So let me just share my screen for you guys. I think you'll be quite excited.
Is
Or
this
what
a
I-
Pat clip of the week?
This is a Pat clip of the week. It's my first ever clip I
Interesting.
bring for the show.
PCOW.
Oh, Breath of the Wild. We already talked about that.
All right, so you guys can see it, right?
I just see black.
I see Blick.
Oh, I don't.
I
That
only-
doesn't make
I
me
only
feel
see
good.
the color black.
The
Another
screen is
Russian
Blick not.
All right, you can't.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
There
all
we
right.
go.
You guys ready?
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
All right, hit
Love
us
the
up.
camera angle.
All right, here we go.
Yes, brother. Siap tuh Rama, siap tuh Rama, siap tuh. Curi চাপাটি রামপুরি বাইকর, পাইপ গান শটগান হাতে লইয়া চল। গলিতে গলিতে পোলা পাইপ করে সর, গেজাপ করতে গেলে হেলায় সব দেয় তোর। তার চিরা মাথা গরম, আমার পিস্তল লোড, আবার বাড়ি পুরা ঢাকা আসি মুট 3 ডোট, বয়স যখন 1-8।
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's just so many.
There's half the video left.
Yeah, right.
like they come back into frame.
Oh my god. I'm now reading the top of the video.
The video.
Yeah.
Bee attack.
Yeah, you
I
should.
thought
I
it
try
was
to save the
Locust.
file as clip of the week, and then the week.
So that's also just not singular bee attack.
Oh
bro,
no,
that's
this
damn
is
hive.
the whole hive came after you.
They did not like his song.
But they
No.
like rolled into town. It was just, it's not like
Oh
these
my
guys were, I'm assuming they weren't
Now,
from,
like, I think there's a last
of
frame
the
here of
hive.
this guy like running by and grabbing the. Oh no, okay.
Oh.
So,
No,
but
he
yeah,
dies.
so
Oh
I like.
my god.
I don't know like what happened, but just like the energy from here,
লোড, আবার বাড়ি পুরা ঢাকা আসি মুট
And
3
the
ডোট, বয়স
vibe,
যখন 1-8।
more importantly,
Shit.
they're just like, oh fuck.
He like
The thing
looked
is,
at it
like,
and
like he's smiling as it's happening.
Like,
was this part of the video where they were like, you know, it's like we're gonna release dubs. We bought bees.
Oh, we
Yeah,
ordered
so-
the wrong thing.
so they sent us bees instead. You guys want to put those out?
Amazon, you did us again.
This is why you don't order off Alibaba.
God damn it! This is the last time Alibaba sends me a fucking stack of bees. Look at this. Like, it just looks like they just keep coming. You know.
Oh my God.
H on the box,
Now,
so we know
for
it's Hornets.
people who are just listening, I wanted to point out that this is a video of a bunch of kids shooting a rap video. Totally fine. I support the arts. But the funny part is when they get attacked by the bees, and that's what you're hearing right now.
Picture in your mind's eye a phone sitting on the ground and an enormous swarm of bees just crossing the sky. Like you're watching like planes flying overhead in formation.
Look at this guy. Look at like it's there's
They're
just
all
all
over.
over him. Like,
All
That's gotta
over
be
his
so
head.
miserable.
Dude, you just gotta keep running.
now I have been
Yeah, I've-
attacked
I've
by
gotten
2
close
bees
to, like, a
before at
swarm.
one time. I got stung on the eye and the ear at the very same time, and it sucked. So
I've had
this
several instances where like
probably
I've
is
walked near a hive and gotten
brutal.
like not swarmed, but where like, you know, like I've had like 8 or 9 bees on me and I had to like pull them off and
Oh,
stomp them
dude,
and
this
things.
is a full-on swarm. Like this
This
was
is-
like this
I want
was
to know where this is.
this was
if anybody knows what they're saying and can give us any context clues, let us know.
this
in
was
the chat.
this
gotta
was
just
film
slow.
yourself wrapping it.
this
and,
reminds me of Scramble the Fairies, you know. Should I not scramble the fairies? Like, no, they fucking scrambled the fairies on this one. Like, here comes.
I love how like it looks like they're expecting it, and they're like, "What's
Yeah.
happening?
Saying,
What is
like-
that?" It's like there's a guy off screen who's like a beekeeper.
like,
Who's like, "You rapped your last rap."
Maybe they are beekeepers and they weren't surprised. They're like, oh yeah, the bees. We have bees, and then
Oh, I
they
forgot
just
about
turned
those.
on them.
our bees. We have the
Oh,
bees.
We have.
Oh my god.
That's the button we go out on.
But yeah, so nothing's more fun than watching people get attacked by a swarm of bees on your own podcast.
Well, you know, they're dying at an alarming rate, so
Yeah.
you gotta,
Yeah,
gotta
it's
keep 'em
true.
going. Can't kill them. You just gotta let them
Can't-
be.
Can't live
Oh.
without
You
them.
just gotta keep getting stung by the bees,
Gotta
pretty
let 'em
much.
be. I get
Okay.
it.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, you see yourself out, I guess. Well, I guess
Nick's gonna
with that
kick you again.
said, with that
Yeah.
said,
I probably
thanks
should've.
everybody for tuning in. Once again, if you liked watching the show, comment below, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. That helps, or a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. All they care about is engagement. So that being said, thank you very much. I'm your host, Pat Ambrano. With me, as always, is Dan Kilkenny, Nick McFly. Are you serious? And Mike Burke. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see. Did I really just do this? Thanks so much. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next week.